In 1994, the Texas State Police Department received a phone call. However, the person on the line remained completely silent. Since the operator could not establish any communication, they traced the origin of the call through the system and located the house it came from, then dispatched several officers to the address. When the officers arrived, they found an old house that looked abandoned. As they stepped inside, they were unaware that they were walking into a strange and mysterious story. Travis and Olivia Mabel had dreamed of building a big family and wanted to have several children. The young couple searched for a property where their children could play in the fresh air during the day and spend peaceful evenings together in a spacious home. Shortly after the birth of their first child, a baby boy named Aiden, they decided to buy a large farmhouse in the quiet town of Salina, Texas. They believed this place would be perfect for Aiden and any future children to grow up safely and happily. In 1983, the family moved into their new home. Just as they had planned, the couple wanted a big family, but they decided to devote the first 7 years of their marriage entirely to Aiden. Their firstborn was naturally extremely precious to them. They bought him everything he wanted and treated him like the center of their world. The farmland surrounding their home was large, and Aiden spent most of his time outside playing in nature. On the morning of March 13th, 1991, Aiden went out to play as he always did. The only rule was that he had to come back home in time for dinner. When he didn't return around 5:30 p.m., his mother Olivia felt something was wrong and began searching for him with her husband Travis. But that day would become a tragedy for the young family. Shortly after they started looking, they found their son's lifeless body in a small pond near the house. Aiden's body was floating face down in the water. It was assumed that the 7-year-old boy had fallen into the pond, couldn't get out, and drowned. Losing their child devastated their relationship, and the couple soon separated. Travis left the farm, trying to move on from the tragedy and start a new life. But for Olivia, starting over was impossible. After Aiden's death, she remained on the farm and quit her job. She shut herself off completely from the world and from the people around her. She isolated herself so much that she stopped leaving the house entirely. She even ordered her food from outside so she wouldn't have to go out. Her family and friends were deeply worried about her. Even though they tried repeatedly to reach her, Olivia never responded. The only person she had contact with was the courier who delivered her orders. As time passed, her friends eventually stopped trying to reach her. Some believed she still lived on the farm. Others assumed she had moved away and cut ties with everyone to escape the pain of the tragedy. On February 27, 1994, the Salina Police Department received an unusual call. When the operator answered, the line was filled with strange silence. After the operator hung up, 2 more silent calls came in immediately. Because the caller had made multiple silent calls, the operator traced the origin of the calls. They came from the home of Olivia Mabel. Officers went to the address to check if everything was all right. But when they arrived, they noticed something odd. The house looked as though it had been abandoned for a long time. The front door hadn't been used in so long that they had no choice but to break it open. Once inside, they saw that it looked as if no one had lived there for years. Thick layers of dust covered everything, and the air smelled damp and moldy. Yet strangely, one room was completely different from the rest of the house. It was immaculate. This was the room of Aiden, the deceased child. Everything inside was perfectly clean and neatly arranged. Olivia Mabel was found dead, sitting in a rocking chair in the middle of the room. She wore a dirty nightgown and the slippers she used around the house. In her hand, She held a handmade doll constructed from sticks, wrapped in Aiden's clothing. And this is where the story took an even more bizarre turn. In front of Olivia's chair was what appeared to be a shrine dedicated to her son. The table was covered with a baby blanket. On it were photographs of young Aiden, drawings he made, and letters Olivia had written to her son before she died. There were also some toys, candles, and a vase containing the ashes of the deceased child. The autopsy later revealed that Olivia had been dead for nearly 2 months. However, one of the letters on the shrine was dated the exact day the police arrived at the house. The contents of that letter stunned investigators. In the letter, Olivia wrote to her son, "Aiden, I'm sorry, truly sorry. I should never have let this happen. I'm leaving. I won't let you hold me back any longer. You are a disgusting, evil creature. Mommy is coming to you. Aiden, my sweet Aiden, your mother loves you." Many objects on the shrine suggested that Olivia had been performing occult rituals. The shrine was covered with yellow papers, scribbled with symbols in an unknown language. After examination, experts determined that these writings were in Sanskrit, the ancient language used in old Indian ritual practices. Some of the words translated to meanings such as create or revive. It seemed Olivia had been attempting to create a tulpa. A tulpa, according to occult traditions, is a paranormal entity created through intense thought and ritual. Legends claim a tulpa can help bring someone back from the dead or take the form of a deceased person. Such a being is said to feed on the mental energy of the person who creates it. Modern psychology also offers an explanation for tulpas. According to psychologists, a tulpa is a hallucination seen by individuals suffering from severe psychological trauma. It often appears in people who have experienced great tragedy. Their nervous system attempts to protect them by creating an imaginary companion, one that can take the form of a deceased loved one and help the person cope with their grief. Some people claim they can hear or even physically feel the presence of their tulpa. This interpretation sheds some light on Olivia's disturbing letter. But despite this, many things still didn't make sense, and many unanswered questions remained. One of the biggest mysteries was the fact that Olivia had been dead for more than a month when police entered the house. So who made the silent phone calls that alerted the police? The officers who found Olivia said there was no sign that anyone else had been in the house. All the doors and windows had been locked from the inside. To enter, police had to break down the door. Olivia's phone was also found in another room, completely covered in dust as though it hadn't been used in a long time. Another puzzling question was this. In the letter to her son, who was Olivia referring to when she called something a disgusting, evil creature? Could Olivia have actually succeeded in creating a tulpa? And what if the entity she created did not resemble her sweet Aiden at all, but instead manifested as something sinister, a creature that ultimately caused her death? One of the officers who entered the house was Francesca Santiago. She later stated that while inside, she felt as if another presence, something from another world, was there. In a recorded interview, she even described feeling a strong sense of evil inside the house. After this interview, journalists attempted to contact her several times, but Francesca refused to speak about the incident again. She changed her home, her state, and her entire social environment to forget the experience. She asked journalists to stop disturbing her and her family with questions about the case. In 2005, because no one was willing to buy the abandoned property, the Mabel case resurfaced in the media. Everyone who entered the house reported feeling a powerful sense of discomfort. For this reason, the house remained empty for many years. The owner of the land invited paranormal investigator Grev Navarro from Austin, Texas, to visit the house. Navarro claimed that the moment he stepped inside, he felt as if he was suffocating. "I've entered hundreds of strange homes, but I've never felt anything as strong as this," he said. "I struggled to breathe. My heart was pounding. The energy in the house changed from room to room, but everywhere it felt overwhelmingly negative." Investigators eventually recorded Olivia's cause of death as accidental in the official reports. Yet what truly led to the poor woman's end remains an unsolved mystery. Even today, many who hear the story believe her death was connected to something supernatural. And now, what do you think about this case? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.